Welcome to Dear Business Coach, the podcast. My name's Elisabete. Find one thing to move your business forward today. With conversations, spotlights, interviews, articles, and free resources. Listen, follow, and subscribe on social media, Dear Business Coach pages and groups. Dear Business Coach podcast. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And don't forget Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. All it takes sometimes is one little thing to move your business forward today. So I'm going to ask you to get into some of the details about how laughter yoga works exactly. And I have some assumptions about how that works in the body, but you're the pro, so I would want you to explain all of that to me. First, I will read your about section, and Elisabete, yours too. So let's see here. So I have Thom, you say, I run game-changing laughter workshops for innovative organizations that are looking for fresh new ways to engage their teams. I've worked with companies like Google, Meta, JP Morgan, and 600 other companies all around the world to transform morale and productivity while building trust and fostering closeness between teams. My sessions can be live or virtual with 1 to 50,000 attendees. Well, and so welcome to the Dear Business Coach podcast, Thom and Elisabete. How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Doing well. And you, Elisabete?
Oh, fine, thank you. Yeah, it's a lovely summer day. And where am I talking to you today?
We just arrived in Porto, in Portugal.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, we're normally based in Lisbon, but this weekend we're visiting some family in Porto.
Beautiful. Okay, well, so Fall and Laugh is the name of your organization, and the description for Fall and Laugh I have here says teaching people how to laugh to release stress, strengthen their community, and increase their productivity. And I've asked you here today to learn about you both and your background. So tell me a little bit about what is Fall and Laugh.
Do you want to start?
So Fall and Laugh is an experience that Thomas created 5 years ago to laugh more, basically. I joined him this January after a burnout. It was not planned, but it was actually the one thing that, like, laughing with him was actually the one thing that, like, brought my energy levels up. So it was a good thing that it happened. What we do with Fall in Love is that we teach people how to use laughter as a tool, because we often say that it's like society has amnesia, right? We forgot that our bodies are super powerful and we can do not anything, but almost with it. So now we see everybody's talking about like breath work, meditation, but laughter is also an amazing tool that we all have in our pockets to tackle the challenge of the days. And that's basically what Thomas taught me, and what we are doing with Fall in Love is regaining the power that we give away to the challenges when they arise. And laughter helps us empower ourselves and go forward with our days and move towards the life we dream.
Ooh. Okay, well, so let's see, what else do I have here? So let's see if I have the right description here. So forget about your worries with an interactive session of 30, 60, or 90 minutes. Fall and Laugh is a modernized laughter therapy that combines laughter exercises, yogic breathing, meditation, and comedy to release the tensions and stresses of daily life. It starts with pranayama yogic and mindful breathing to relax and create a synergy within the group. And then we pivot into exercises that trigger laughter. During this transition, I'll share theories and help you localize laughter within the body, making us laugh more and more. Ideal for groups, Christmas parties, team events, up to 10,000 people online and unlimited in person. And that is fallandlaugh.com. So as our audience is listening, folks, remember fallandlaugh.com is where you can go to view. And so what I would like to maybe start with is, I think you told me before too that you all have a professional comedy background. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you get it right. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Like when I was 30, so 10 years ago, I did some comedy for 5 years, like professional comedy. Started in Montreal, then moved to Paris, then to Brussels, my hometown. I like to joke that I did my career in the wrong direction, as I would have rather moved toward the US. But there were like 5 beautiful years here. Yeah, and to rebound on that aspect, um, when I started 5 years ago, like I had an accident and wanted to recover my energy and tried like several different therapy. Nothing was working, and I sort of laughing again. So I first thought of going back on stage and doing some comedy, but I was already based in Lisbon. I said, okay, is it going to be in Portuguese or in English? As my mother tongue is French, I said like, okay, the delivery is going to be like completely different. The scene, also the stage in Lisbon was not so big. So I was like, okay, maybe I could find something that goes behind the language. Then it was actually just go behind humor and find like laughter, which is like a universal language. So I started to dig into the topic, found like happiness therapy, laughter yoga, several other sources, and I started to build my own mix. And of course, like I kept some comedy in it and do some jokes during the sessions and yeah.
Get more laughter inside the
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. You have to have an artful mind, I think, to bring these together. And well, let's see here. Let me read what you have said here too, Thom. So at the beginning of your about section on LinkedIn, there's a quote. It says, "We don't laugh because we are happy, but we are happy because we laugh." And that is by, let's see if I can say this person's name properly, Madden Kataria.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This is like the
And
founder of laughter yoga. Yeah.
say that again.
He is the founder of laughter yoga. And
Okay. Okay.
the sentence that really summarizes well also what we do. Yeah.
Are you a LinkedIn user? If you are, you can join me for LinkedIn Live Audio with Elisabeth every week, usually on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I will have a LinkedIn Live Audio where we talk about podcasting for executives who speak and podcasting for team leaders who speak. These are the themes that are currently running. If that sounds like something you're interested, visit me, Elisabeth Walker at Work, on my LinkedIn profile, where I take participants on a rip-roaring journey of belly laughs and breakthroughs, converting skeptics all across the globe. The pressures of the pandemic the shift towards remote working have raised new well-being, collaboration, and culture challenges for HR leaders around the world. It may not have occurred to you that laughter yoga is the answer, but here's what my clients have to say. And then there are a couple of really awesome testimonial submission. So this experience was spectacular. It pushes you out of your comfort zone in a fun way, very unique and not something you would typically imagine experiencing with coworkers. That's from Kendall at Google. Thomas was fantastic. My coworkers and I truly enjoyed these fun, energized sessions, and about how to use laughter to release stress and improve our moods. I highly recommend these sessions. That's from Jack at JP Morgan. And there's a couple more there. So those are really powerful testimonials. Elisabeth, yours says that, hey, I'm Elisabeth, a creative soul from Switzerland. I believe in the interconnected human experience, emphasizing our collective responsibility in shaping our world. Now living in Portugal, I'm the queen of happiness at Fall and Laugh, on a mission to teach the world how to use laughter as a tool, aka our ultimate superpower. Join me on this adventure of creativity, social change, and laughter. And then you say, Let's connect and explore opportunities to contribute to positive change and innovation together. Hashtag passionate about evolution. So these are really awesome bios. Well, let's get started with, what is laughter yoga?
Okay, maybe I start then you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so like first, like we like also to differentiate ourselves a bit from laughter yoga. Of course, like we found like a great inspiration in it, but like we brought a lot of comedy, we modernized it a lot. We tried to bring a lot of motivational speech into it. So there's a great mix of like practice and theory. To give you like a quick idea. So generally we breathe with three different muscles. One is here like the intercostal muscles, and the two other thirds are actually represented by the diaphragm. But the thing that happens with this diaphragm, it gets blocked because it stocks all the sadness, stress, and anxiety. So that affects the way we breathe, the way we oxygenate our mind and body. So that affects also our mood. And I guess it already happened to you to laugh until tears. It actually happens because you release the tension stuck here. So that's what we're trying to do, working on releasing all the tensions and trying to make you cry. So basically, the body doesn't make the difference between a forced laughter and a real one. And that generally happens within less than 10 seconds. So we do like, let's say, forced laughter. So like, ho, ho, or ha, 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 and we try to do that for 10, 20 seconds, like all together. And as the body doesn't make the difference, at some point, it starts to, you start to laugh. Also, like there's a lot of contagiousness aboard, and so you laugh even more faster. So that would be like the rudimentary explanation.
Yeah, but I think what is great in the experience that you created is that it's a perfect mix in between theory and practice. So, and it goes very fast. So we don't leave the choice to like the participants' minds and ego to interfere and block. So they're already inside the experience and they're laughing. And then we explain what's happening in the body, what's happening in the mind, what's happening spiritually, what's happening in society as they do the exercises. So it's very dynamic, and at the same time they get to experience and learn about themselves, about the laughter and everything. And yeah, I think the cool part about this experience is that it's a way to release the stress, sadness, anxiety, so a way for you to relax, but at the same time to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, okay, so I'm hearing a couple of things here. I'm getting some from both of you. You have personal passions, I think, coming to fall in laugh, right? And so how did you go from having a personal interest in comedy, right? And I say personal because I know you were doing it professionally. However, that is you and yourself, right, on stage, figuring out the comedy scene. And then you find yourself being interested in bringing this work to people. How did you start studying and teaching yourself theory around this?
Well, as I said, like I really wanted to find like a language that would be like more universal, that can speak to anyone, and that doesn't divide. Also, like so often, but we tend to believe that laughter depends on humor. But if you think about it, humor depends on your language, on your nationality, on your geography, on your political / spiritual, philosophical, sociological, and so on background, then on your points of view, on your education, so somehow on your privileges. So actually everything which is supposed to gather people easily divides them. So I really often give this example during the sessions, like we often have lived this situation when we are laughing together, and at some point someone doesn't understand something, doesn't have the same reference. And then
Mhm.
sometimes someone laughs at this person. So laughing with becomes laughing at. And during our session, we practice the exact opposite. We are laughing at ourselves with the other ones. And that changed a lot the game, because to do that, first of all, you've got to face your fears of being ridiculous in front of each other.
Especially in front of your coworkers, right?
Yeah.
Where it's a place where you're supposed to be like more like there's dignity, hierarchy, and you don't want to look like a fool. So it demands a lot of courage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's sometimes hard to laugh in front of your boss, and or laugh louder than your boss. um, but yeah, it's also like very interesting for us to observe all that.
The dynamics, in the teams.
And so secondly, like you've got to remove the layers of your ego to show yourself, show your true self, show your authentic self to others. And this is only possible if you trust yourself and trust others. But like that strengthens a lot the links and the bonds when, for instance, we do like a team events working on the team cohesion, or if it's like a mixed groups of individual, they immediately feel connected, or if it's another occasion like a birthday or how do you call like a VGGF?
A stag do for
Yeah,
men and
yeah.
bachorette for women.
Yeah, stag do or bachelorette.
Yeah, we got more bachelorettes than stag
Yeah.
do, but we're open to stag do's too.
Yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, like but laughter in general, humor were topics that fascinated me, that have always fascinated me, and yeah, realizing that like laughter could envelop comedy was like really intriguing for me, and understanding that we are like kind of passive. So that might have been like one big trigger in my understanding, in my also in my interest. But you know, like so often when it comes to laughter, we kind of very passive. We tend to rely on people to make us laugh, or we want to watch a good TV show or go like to the theater, see a one-man show, and we expect these external circumstances to make us laugh, you know? So like not many people, according to us, like expect themselves to train their laughter, to train their their own laughter. So realizing that you can become like more active and like just laughing in the morning, or like at some obstacles, at some situations, like we can dig deeper after. Realizing that you can train your laughter was like a major click for myself and for you too, you know?
Yeah, but you mentioned it about laughter, but I think it's the same that applies for joy, right?
Yeah.
We think we often take it for granted, and we think that if we are not happy, it's because of the circumstances around us. So we give our power to the circumstances, and we are so good at finding excuses like, oh, my parents were not funny, I was an only child, I need to pay taxes or whatever. But actually, what we said, fall in love, is that joy is a matter of practice. So there's no doubt in your mind that if you want to get better at a sports, football, yoga, and music instrument, at work, to develop skills, you practice. But somehow with joy, we take it for granted. So it's good to come back to the basics and realize, okay, joy is also a matter of practice. And we go even further than that, and we say, joy is a state of mind. And how do you change a state of mind? By taking a decision. So happiness is a decision, and laughter is a micro decision.
Yeah, that helps us.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't let's see, let me think for a second. Well, basically, okay, so two things I heard. I hear that it sounds like you would be teaching me how to almost surrender a little bit to the practice of letting the laughter come. So for beginning practicers like myself, are you actually telling me that if I start practicing how to sort of, let's start with a physical exercise of kind of releasing, paying attention to releasing this diaphragm area, and then allowing yourself to laugh, that like you're surrendering your ego a little bit and creating like a physiological response that opens room for more creativity or the ability to connect with other people. Like, that seems like that can happen. Number one, I'm afraid to open up in front of other people. And then number two, in an exercise situation, in a coaching situation with you all, that can happen in a couple of minutes at the beginning of the session. Is that kind of the idea? Is you get me and my colleagues like to release and start laughing like first right away? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah,
it happens in a few seconds, not minutes.
no.
So it's very direct. And we also say that laughter is the shortest distance in between two people. And actually, when you see a group of people together laughing, you immediately want to join them, because that's how your body works. And it's also a way to signal to your brain that there's no danger there. It's like smiling. It sends like message to your brain that everything is good. You receive dopamine, serotonin, which are also the hormones of happiness. So it's also a great way to hack yourself. And if you're scared to go talk with people, be in groups, you can just laugh, as opposed to humor, as we were saying before. Like, you don't need to be good at making a joke, or if it's someone like, for example, in Lisbon, we hang out with a lot of international people, and we see the cultures are very different. So sometimes something that is funny in your home country is not for another person, right? So by just laughing, you can see that the person is going to laugh also. And we can dare you to try that with like a stranger. You're going to see, like, if you keep up laughing, they're going to start laughing at some point. It's like something that is innate in us.
Yeah. But it's like basically what you just said, Elisabeth, like you get it. So as the other Elisabeth said, like at the beginning of a session, we try to distract the attendee's mind, to be able to quickly move into laughter, to be able to focus on enjoying our time, because like some people might be a bit resistant and feel like, oh, am I going to laugh without reason, for no reason, So
lose my seriousness,
and lose
right?
my seriousness and maybe a bit of my image. So like the idea is like to get quickly into it, and then progressively we share more and more theory, generally after the exercises, to help you to realize, oh, exercise was fun, but there's also like something to teach you, and it's also like super easy to reproduce at home, like you can practice it by yourself. And as you properly said, the idea is in the end like to hack yourself, like to be able to be the master of your body and of your mind, So like we often give this little trick. If you feel a bit moody at work, place a pen like this in between your
Okay. Wait,
like this.
exactly like this, and you do that like for 2 or 3 minutes, and normally like after a couple of minutes, the zygomatics, which are like the muscles of your jaws, but also the smile muscles, are going to send the information to your brain that you're smiling. So your brain is going to release another type of hormones, like probably dopamine or serotonin.
It's a message also to your brain. When you smile, there's a message sent to your brain that there's a reward. So you're also very happy because something good is happening. So you get the energy from it and so on.
So basically, like all the exercises we do during these sessions are based on, let's say, this idea that you can trick your mind, trick your body, and by creating these positive habits, you can completely change your attitude. Also, like by your posture, your demeanor, because like when you laugh, you strengthen the spine, like some muscles in your face are activated, and so on and so on. So, and as you said, like you send like a strong signal to people around you that you're in a good place.
Yeah, but also
good energy.
we read the sentence that was like, I'm not sure about the numbers, but it takes 47 muscles to
48
front, 48 to front, and only 16 to smile. So you better off smiling.
Yeah.
I have heard that before. So tell me a little bit more about, okay, so I know that I can go to Fall in Laugh to look you up. However, I think there are some opportunities coming up soon that you would like people to know that I can get involved in or sign up for, or if I have a company or a team, I can come to you about some group bookings, right?
Yeah, so Thomas has developed this amazing experience that we have been doing mostly for companies, corporates. And now that I've joined the team, we kind of want to be able to offer the same quality, but to individuals, which was like you did like also.
Yeah, I started with individuals, then moved to corporate for different reasons, because I was able to reach out to more people thanks to HR, PR, and like big team buildings. But indeed, like we really felt
the calling to dig deeper and to be with people, and especially like when we saw what happened to me with the burnout and then the health issues that follow, where I lost like all of my energy, like everything was dark, and then laughter came almost as like a savior, right? Like re-giving me energy. We're like, okay, but this is golden. It's not fair to not share it with as many people as possible, because I don't know, I've always been into social change, and I believe there's so many bad things going on. It's up to us to bring also the good things. And I believe that laughter is an incredible tool, and somehow our society has forgotten because we want to be so serious. But like having fun doesn't mean it's not serious. So it's also about that, and just helping people to relax and let go of the stress. Some stress is good, but too much stress, not good. So
yeah. But so like, do you want to explain like a bit?
Yeah, so we are working on online program of 6 months where we will be coaching people. The offer is mostly going to be like videos and live calls where we'll practice together, exercise and talk, and we'll offer like a space to build a community where people can like exchange together what they're going through. And I don't know, when you are facing with a health issue, or any other issue, right? It can feel super scary. So it's important also to know you can rely on a group system that has gone through it or is going through the same. So you know you're not alone, because we're so many in this planet, and somehow again we like get too much in our heads, so we forget that we can count on others and be together to rise.
Yeah. And so like if I may add this, also like we laugh a lot, but still it was like really an important realization that you've got to bring awareness to be the master of your laughter, to take regularly the decision. So that's why we came with this motto you mentioned earlier, like joy is a matter of practice. Happiness is a decision, and laughter is a micro decision. And we generally say the micro decision that help us to respect our promise, because we all have already had this decision to become a millionaire or to get fit or to quit smoking, to be happy. And like after a couple of weeks, like the motivation decreases. So laughter was really like a huge switch to be able like to tackle obstacles, to get your power back in so many different situations, to smile when something like upsets you, to laugh something really upsets you. So to be able to transform negativity into positivity. And we can talk more about it, of course. But realizing this was like, okay, actually, this is not just a decision. This is like a real program where you have to understand that like you've got to do efforts a bit every day, or practice at least, to be able to change. Like change is not going to come like with just one thought, or just in one day. So like it was really important for us to after like having so many sessions, like today, after 5 years, it's already more than 1,500 sessions, like 1,500 sessions. And like all the time, like we've got people who after 30, 60, 90 minutes are like, oh my God, that was so fun. I think I've loved more than the last year. And like quite often it is the case. Like normally during the basic 30-minute session, you're probably going to love more than a month or two. That's what you do generally in a month or two, if you are if you're a person who loves a lot. So it can be more for someone who doesn't love so much. And so like we receive like crazy nice words after this session, and we thought, okay, normally this person are going to come back the next year when they're going to do another digital kickoff, or when they have another reason for another team building, or they're going to speak about us, and we'll see the colleagues a couple of weeks after. But we were really thinking like, oh my God, this is not enough. Like they just had like a crazy nice moment. And as we say often, like laughter is natural, but it's also like a fundamental right, like joy.
Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Elizabeth in Floyd, Virginia. This has been an episode of Dear Business Coach.